Hello, hi. How's it going? I'm sleepy. I hope you guys are okay. Maybe you could say how you're feeling in the chat box and what kind of class you would like, because I could tailor it a little bit. Like if you have an area that's feeling a bit stiff or needs a bit of attention, or if you've got any ailments or anything like that. Oh, I'm sleepy. I had quite a good sleep, so I don't know why I'm sleepy. It's quite chilly today in the community centre, so I've got my jumper on, a little dress on and stuff. Yeah, I'm excited when these classes eventually move to the cabin, because I reckon hopefully we'll be in our cabin by the end of October, maybe beginning of November or something. But I'm sure actually sooner than that I can start using the wall, which is like the one wall I could probably use. It's a tiny cabin. So okay, so again I've got my trusty class 3 crocheted cushion, and I'm going to use that because this is my yoga cushion from my many years of being at Steiner School. So fantastic. You get these, you come away with all these knitted things. It's great. And crochet things. Okay, so let's find a comfortable seated position. That could be kneeling. It doesn't have to be cross-legged, or Sukhasana, which is known as comfortable seat, one of the meditation postures. So yeah, any comfortable position is great. And let's start by beginning to recognize the breath. So you start to notice how you're breathing. And that doesn't mean you have to change your breath very much at all. But at this stage, just notice how you're breathing, and it could even be a bit labored, like as in like you just don't, breathing's kind of a bit functional and hadn't really thought much about it. Notice if you breathe deeply into your lungs, or if you're someone who often breathes in quite a shallow way. And notice how you're sitting. So when you're breathing like this without much intention, in a less mindful way, notice how you're sitting. Like I'm noticing I'm swaying slightly to the left. Over here, I'm kind of dropping slightly over to the left and a little bit forward. Feeling your body heavy, so your upper body is quite heavy, so you're not really engaging many of the muscles. And then begin to slightly lengthen on the inhale. So as you inhale, you're starting to breathe into this whole torso area, your belly, rib cage, and your chest area. So breathing in and expanding. And there's a lifting. So I'm noticing slight correction of my posture. I'm beginning to sit more upright. And as you exhale, notice this softening back towards the spine of your torso, softening of the shoulders. Inhale, gently lengthening through the crown of the head, imagining a golden thread lifting you from the crown, which is just directly at the top of your head. And as you exhale, you're still lifted and supported, but there's a softening. There's softening around the eyes, the brow, all around your cheeks and your jawbone. Inhale, expanding your belly and the whole of your upper body or your middle body. And exhaling, lengthening the breath. Inhale, deepening. Exhale, lengthening and softening the whole area that's around your organs and rib cage. And then bringing the hands to the heart. And we'll begin by chanting our Om vibration 3 times together to start the class. Inhaling. Then bring the hands, inhaling up into Namaste. Exhaling, opening into Prana Mudra above the head. Inhale up. Exhale, open. Inhale, stretching up, touching the hands together. Exhale, opening. The hands are apart and stretched open. Inhale, Namaste. Exhale, Prana Mudra. Inhale, stretching up. Exhale, Namaste at the heart. Taking a breath in. Exhale, stretching out the hands. Inhale, opening wide, opening up the chest. Exhale, closing the hands. Inhale, open. Stretching back the shoulder blades. Exhale, open. Exhale, close, sorry. Inhale, open. Maybe even your neck go a little bit back if it feels okay. Exhale, closed. Inhale, up. Exhale, Prana Mudra. If it's too much for your arms, have a break. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, Prana Mudra. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, Prana. Inhale, Namaste. Exhale, bring the hands behind. And inhale, opening up the chest. Exhale on the movement. And then inhale, stretching up. Exhale on the movement. And then clasping and taking a breath in. Inhale, opening up. Exhale. Inhale, stretching up. Exhale behind, opening up the chest, clasping behind. Clasping your hands together. Exhale on the movement. Lifting up, inhale. Exhaling over to the side. Inhale up. Exhale over to the other side. Inhale up. Exhale over. You can always look down at your hand. Have a little stretch out of your neck as well, looking down. Inhale up. Exhale to the side. Lovely. Inhale up. And then exhale into the twist. So bring yourself round. We'll stay in the twist for a little bit. So breathing in, inhaling through the crown of the head to the length of your upper body. Exhaling a little bit more into the twist. So keeping this breathing vinyasa krama style kind of flow with the breath, movement following the breath. In the twist. And then inhale up, stretching up. Exhale over to the other side. Lovely deep breaths. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, softening. Inhaling up. Exhale, forward. And coming down as far as feels comfortable. It might only be this far down, and that's fine. Just see how far you can go. And then gently with the breath, so keeping your lovely deep breaths going on, over to the side. And bringing hands back to center and over to the other side. Stretching out your side body. Bringing the hands back to center. And then bring yourself back up. And hands into namaste. At the heart. Just take a moment with your breath, with hands at the heart. And then releasing any blankets or cushions or anything you have underneath you. And bringing yourself forward. And we're going to come into our tabletop position. Like I often do with it's a hard floor underneath, putting a blanket underneath the knees. If you need to. You might not need to if you've got a carpet or something. If it just doesn't, if your knees aren't hurting. And let's start with our movements where we just move in any way that feels like how our body would like to move today. So you're on all fours, but you can just take the movements any which way. Maybe doing a figure of 8 with your hips. Nice, lovely. And lifting up your back and doing flowing cat. I mean, basically you're taking yourself in any way that you want to. Just feeling into the stuck areas or areas that are feeling looser. Remembering lovely deep breaths. And then bringing your spine back to stillness for a moment. And then really quite soon we'll move into upward facing cat, looking up. The back is arching back down towards the mat. And then downward facing cat, exhaling, looking between your knees, arching the back towards the ceiling, lifting up pelvic floor and abdominal muscles. Inhaling upward, exhaling downward facing cat. So in your own time, going through with your inhaling up and exhaling down. And start to release the movement. Bring the body back to stillness for a moment. And then begin to pad out the hands. It's quite cat-like, kind of quite animal. Over to the left. Stretching out your side body. And then gently padding the hands back to center. Really moving your hips and your spine as you do so. So it can be quite fluid. Or it's like a little dance on all fours, really. You're kind of moving all the water in your body. And then back to center slowly. And then coming back to stillness. So we've been on all fours for a little while. We're going to stay here for a little bit longer. We're going to take the pressure off our wrists one at a time. So we'll bring the left leg up and the right arm up. So that I have it, so that my thumb is facing up and I flex my left foot. So it's quite active. And then you're lifting up your mula bandha, your pelvic floor, and your abdominal muscles. So it's quite strong. This is held. So remember, you're still flowing even in a held posture like this. The breath is keeping flowing in your body. Using deep breaths and then exhaling down. If you ever need to come down sooner than I do, please do that. We're bringing in a bit of fire into the body, now a bit of heat. And then flexing the back foot, so the right foot and the left hand. And the thumb is facing up. Lift up pelvic floor, abdominal muscles. Strong, deep breaths. Stretching from your heel right to your fingers. And then placing down. Lovely. And then bringing the left leg out and bouncing. I'm turning the toes round and just gently bouncing back on your toes. So you're stretching your leg out, the back of your leg. And your heel. Then bringing the leg up and giving it a little bit of a shake. So lovely, strong in your core muscles still. Shaking through your leg. And then bringing the leg forward so it's on the outside edge of your hands. Your hands are inside. Inhaling forward and exhaling back. So you're stretching. It's a stronger stretch now down your hamstring, back of the calf. Inhale forward, exhale. Deep breaths. So if you can breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, that's more traditional with yoga. I find that when I'm teaching, I often breathe out through my mouth, and that's because I need to talk. So, yeah, if you bring in the more traditional breath, that's great. But sometimes some people prefer breathing out to the nose, the mouth, like in Pilates. That's fine. But you create more of a focus and it's almost like more meditative, breathing out through your nose. You're creating like a meditation environment in your practice, meditative environment. So you're kind of with this focus of just breathing through the nose. It's quite strong actually. And then bringing yourself forward. And then planting down the right hand and lifting up the left. So this isn't good for one person I know in the class. So if this is just stay here if it's not okay. And also, if it's not so good for you, careful of your hip. So it might not be good for everyone. I know this can be challenging in the hip, these strong stretches like this. And there's one person here that's challenging for, so. And then either you stay down, keep your knee down, and then come into with the hands at Namaste and then up into Prana Mudra. Or my preference is up here because it doesn't hurt my knees so much and it's strong on my legs. So I'm coming up, but you don't have to do that. And if you are up, you're keeping a really strong leg behind you. Having the hands at the heart. And then coming up into Prana Mudra, into full crescent lunge. And then gently bringing the hands back down to the foot, inside of the foot. And then bringing your knee back. And we'll have a moment, so the two knees are hip width apart now, and we'll have a moment into downward dog in between. So we'll bend the knees in half downward dog. Stretching out your middle upper back, encouraging your chest towards your knees, and then lifting up onto all fours. Not all fours, sorry, tiptoes. Just making it up. It's bad when I do that in a video because it's kind of immortalized. But and then exhaling the heels down towards the mat. I have to say I've got one of these brains which doesn't remember vocabulary very well. So I just fish around in my brain and just say any odd thing. Anything that all pops up. And then exhaling back down. So we're on all fours again. I'm just going to take off my jumper at last. Finally. And then bring back the right foot. And just have a little gentle stretch from the toes. Gentle stretching out the hamstrings, calves. And then bringing the right foot behind, so nice and kind of level with the mat, and just have a little shake out. This is great for sciatica if you suffer from that. Actually, I don't think my nerve pain is sciatica, so I haven't noticed this working. Sciatica is the the nerve that runs down the back of your leg from your hip. It's kind of helps shake out, loosen that nerve for like a pinching. And then bringing through, so your hands are inside and your foot is on the outside. If that is actually too much, because for some people with hips it is too much, you can bring the foot inside and it's a bit less intense. You're not opening the hip as much. And then exhaling back, so there's a stronger stretch on the back of your leg. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhale. Exhale. Oh, lovely. So nice. Inhaling. Stretching your hip out. Exhaling, stretching the back of your leg. Exhale back. Inhale forward. And then again, lower, keep the knee down if you would like to. And then we'll be bringing the hands to the heart and then up into full Prana Mudra, crescent lunge. And so, but if you want to, come up like I am, up into the full lunge. Remember, a nice straight leg, hands to the heart. Looking straight ahead. And then up into Prana Mudra. Some deep, awakening breaths, morning breaths. As I am alive, I am awake. And bring the hands over the head and then down back onto the mat. Lowering the knee down. And then bringing the other knee to hip width apart. So you're still on all fours. And then we'll bring the knees a little bit further out, touching the toes, and then coming back into child. Just rest here for a moment in child. We've had a bit of a strong lunge already this morning. And then start to walk the hands to the left like we did in the cat posture. Walking the hands over. You'll be slightly stronger in child. And stretching out your side of the body. Walking the hands back to center. And then over to the right. Taking deep breaths. Resting, kind of relaxing into the stretch. And then back to center. Stretching the hands in front while we're in child, having a little look at your hands, planting the thumb and forefinger and the little finger. Coming up onto your knees, bringing the knees back to hip width apart, turning the toes round, coming back into half downward dog. Stretching up into a cute dog, so you're on the tiptoes. Eve has got a cute dog. She's just got a puppy. Maybe the puppy's joining in with the yoga now. And then exhaling the heels down. So walking one heel at a time.
And then start to slowly and gently walk the heels or the feet towards the hands, just a little bit at a time. You can come up onto fingertips if you want and bend your knees and walking to the front of the mat. Just bobbing here for a little bit. Maybe over to the right side, seeing what that's like. And then over to the left side. And then forward. So it might be that you've got bent knees, or it might be that your hands are hanging. So just, it doesn't mean you have to be on the mats, because I am. It's just everyone's got different body shapes. Lifting up through the arches of your feet, and you can lift up your toes and then place your toes down as well. So really just having a little moment of looking at your feet. So you're, rather than collapsing your arches in, you're lifting up through the arches. And we'll do our gentle roll up. Lots of deep breaths as we're rolling up. Stacking one vertebrae at a time on top of each other. So we come up to standing. So stay where you are, and I'll just move so I can see you. The feet are hip width, and the outside edges of the feet in line with the mat. So you'll be slightly pigeon-toed probably. Your toes will be coming in a little bit. I wonder if I can, if I go back like this, you can see me better, can't you? Lifting from the arches, lifting up your shins, kneecaps, lifting up the quads, opening up the chest a little bit, rolling the shoulders up and back and opening up the chest. Bringing the abdominal muscles in a little bit. This is just here, so you're helping your back so it doesn't arch too much if it's wanting to do that. And hands by the side. And soft face, soft shoulders. Here in mountain. And then gently lifting up to extended mountain. So you're lifting and reaching up. And then taking your left hand and your right. Here we are, if you can see me. Left hand and the left hand is around the right wrist. Over to the side. Stretching at your side. Bring yourself back up. The right hand is around the left wrist. And then over to the side. And then back up. Hands are down. And then we're going to open up the legs a little bit and swing. So swinging the arms from side to side, swinging and twisting, bobbing the knees. And gently pat your side as you do this. And then start to bring the movement to stillness as you reduce the movement a little bit, just a little bit. Still using your nice breath. So we're really keeping our breath going. And then bring your hands into stretching the fingers out and clasping the thumbs. That's not compulsory. If you want to ever separate, that's fine. So lifting up
hope you can't see me very well. Lifting up, and we're coming into a sunrise stretch. So if we're coming over to the right, and so you bend the left knee as you come down, stretching down, and then bend the right knee as you come up, other way. And if you're going in a different direction, that's fine, because we'll just be going the other way anyway. And stretching up and then going the other way. Exhaling down, inhaling up, exhaling down, inhaling up. It's really raining here now. Exhaling down, inhale up. One more time. Exhale down. And then releasing the hands down. I think to get the body pumping again, we'll come into skier. So we're back to having our feet hip width apart, outside edges in line with the mat. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, coming down. Inhale, exhale. And of course, you can go slower than this. Don't forget that this is your practice. And I know I can't see you, so you can actually be sitting down eating jam and toast and having a cup of tea. So that's absolutely fine as well. But if I'm going too fast for you and you feel like you've always got to keep up, or you want to go faster or anything like that, you're so welcome. And then from here, we're going to come up into Utkatasana. So tucking the tailbone in, especially if you've got an arch in your back, supporting your lower back, lifting up pelvic floor. Lovely. Strong breaths. Looking straight ahead. And then lifting up. And we'll come down again. Lower if you can. So nice. We're doing this really good for your legs. Giving your legs a real going over. And then lift it up. And then bring the hands down to heart center. Lovely. That's nice. Good. Whew. Whoop, that was great. Okay, so I always want to do tree, and then I think, is it too boring always doing tree? Because there's other ones we can do, but the balances are quite full on, the other balances. But let's just start with our, I'll do a kind of variation-y thing. So bringing the feet into Tadasana, mountain feet again, and we'll just lift up to begin with, coming up onto tiptoes, and then exhale down. I always do inhale up, but you can actually exhale up and inhale down. So either way, because it gets taught both ways. So keeping a drishti, an eye gaze, that's nice and focused, that's not on a wobbly point, just focusing on something somewhere on the floor, on the wall. One more time. And then bringing your feet down. And then before coming up into tree, we'll lift up the right knee like this and really plant the left foot and lift up from the arch of the left foot. Lift up the right knee
strong abdominal muscles, lifting up the pelvic floor. And then opening up the right knee. Making sure that your toes aren't scrunching into the mat. So you can just lift them up and then gently place them back down. So we're just keeping awareness of our toes. And then bringing the knee straight ahead. And then we're going to bring the knee over a little bit and hold out your right arm. So we've swapped hands. So we're doing the Prater, which is where you slightly twist. We're not going to twist too much. And then forward. And then down. Whew, that was strong. It's quite a lot, wasn't it? And then placing the right leg down. So really nice and strong, lifting up from your arches of your foot. Then bringing the knee up, the left knee. And on the hip. And then over to the side. And bring it forward again. Over to the side. Forward again. And then turning changing the hands. So now we're in the twist. Bring it slightly over. Hand out. Left hand is out. Remember to keep lovely, strong pelvic floor and abdominal muscles. Bringing the knee back. Hands on hips. And placing the leg down. And just walk out your feet. So hopefully that was okay doing the Prater where you go over. Just very subtle. Okay, so let's come into tree, planting the left foot, lifting up from the arch. You can come down to here on the mat, so your tiptoes are you're on tiptoes on the mat, but your your foot is just resting, your heel's just resting on your ankle, or up to your calf, or up here. So just see right up into your groin, right into the inner thigh. To start with, we can have hands on hips. And then bring hands to the heart. Remember to focus, find a place to focus. And then lift up your branches of your tree into Prana Mudra. Deep breaths. You can really soften your face and soften your shoulders. So strong abdomen, you can even lift up your Mula Bandha, pelvic floor. But you're softening, so you're really also not tensing in this posture. And bring the hands back to the heart. Lowering the shoulders down. And then bringing your leg down. Lovely, good. Good, good. And then on the other side, planting the right foot, lifting up from the arch, coming into the open hips, at the ankle, calf, avoid the knee, come up to the full tree. There are further ones, but this is as far as we go. And then bring the hands at the heart. And then lifting the branches of your tree up. Just feeling a wonderful branches connecting to the sky. And the trunk and the roots going down to the earth. Deep breaths. Hands back to the heart.
and down by your side, and then releasing down. Nice, good. Shaking out. Fantastic. That's great. Okay. Okay, we'll just bring ourselves into warrior one for a moment. We've done a lunge, so it's quite similar. So that it's heel to heel alignment. So your heels are on the same line of your mat, and you're focusing forward. So a bit like the lunge. With the lunge, you lift up the back foot. This one, you just a bit like the warrior two legs. You just clip in your back leg a little bit and then face forward. Lift up through your abdomen, pelvic floor, and bring the hands up straight ahead. Your knee is over your ankle. You can probably see your big toe. That means you're opening up this leg. You're opening it up and you can see your big toe. Deep breaths. So the arms are quite straight above your head. And bring the hands to the heart. And then we'll move in the back foot. So heel to heel still. It's moving the back foot in. And the hands are in namaste at the heart. And then we're going to see how it is to put them in namaste behind. So if you can't do that, because your shoulders don't want to do it, just hold your elbows behind. You see what I mean? You're just got one hand on each elbow behind like that. So, or you're in prayer, like reverse prayer behind. Lifting up your core muscles, Mula Bandha, and then gently folding forward. If you need to bend your knee first, that's fine. You can bend your knee and then gently straighten. See how far down you go. Purvottanasana, this one is. So you're having one of the forward folds. So having a little look at your big toe. Your drishti is paradrishti, your big toe, your foot. A few deep breaths. You don't necessarily go all the way down. You can just stay with quite a straight back. I'm getting actually some challenging postures in here, I realise. And then bringing releasing your hands and then placing them like a tripod. So there's your hands make a tripod, and then lifting up your back leg. So this is a preliminary. So this is a starter position for two things, which we're not going to go into, but I just want to let you know. It's half moon, where you could also use a block or something. So half moon posture, if you ever want to go into this, you're feeling like that's something you want to do. And also warrior three. They're both really strong. This one's really strong. And then, so that's a preliminary for those. So you're basically strengthening yourself for that, which is great. And so bring yourself down, if you haven't already. And then bring yourself back up. And then turn to the other side. So we're doing warrior one on the other side. Heel to heel, wider leg, like warrior two legs. Bend the knee. So the knee is over the ankle, facing forward. You can see your big toe. Clipped in the back foot and lifting up. And your arms are nice and straight, looking straight ahead. Lifting the arch of the back foot so you're not collapsing into your back foot. Lifting that arch up so you're rolling onto the outside of your back foot. You can lift the arch of your front foot as well. Less important, but always a good thing. Then bring the hands back to the hips. Bring in the back leg so you're closer together. Heel to heel. Hands on hips. Oh no, we're not doing hands on hips. Oh, we're doing prayer. So reverse prayer or clasp elbows. Bring in your abdominal muscles, your core muscles, and your mula bandha. So lifting up your uddiyana bandha is your diaphragm. So area. So you're kind of lifting that up as well. So bend your left knee if you would like to bend it to come down, and then you straighten it when you're ready, if it wants to straighten. Quite a strong leg stretch. And have a look at your foot, your big toe, pada drishti. Deep breaths. And then releasing the hands down into the tripod and lifting up the back leg. So those of you, I don't know if anyone did this, but if anyone followed me last time, which you weren't meant to do, but I mean, you weren't, required to do or meant to do, I'm just going to show you again on the side in case you did, just so that you can even it out. Half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Chandra is moon and Ardha is half. And then Virabhadrasana, warrior, 3. And then down. And then bringing the foot back, bring yourself back up, being careful of your back, turning the toes round, heel toe in, bringing your feet together. We don't often do that, do we? And then lift up on tiptoes, and then coming down, having a little tiptoe hug. And bringing yourself down onto the mat. And God, we're doing quite an active class. I think I'm just teaching so many yoga classes at the moment and doing so many yoga videos that I'm just like on a roll, and you're bearing the brunt of it. Okay. Okay, I think I'm going to get us onto the mat. I had some more seated ones I was going to do, but actually, do you know what? I think we'll end up exhausting ourselves. So I'll get you onto the mat. I'm just going to grab my socks and jumper. We're going to lie down, and I'll put my jumper on. I'm one of those chilly people. So you might want to, to start to think about. I mean, we're well ahead of ourselves. We're not going into Shavasana yet, but if you need to, you can make sure you've got warm things near you. Okay, so coming onto the mat and planting the feet down, hip width apart, and your knees are facing the ceiling. And we'll start by gently rocking the pelvis into the mat. So we're exhaling the pelvic floor, lifting up the pelvic floor, and exhaling your lower back, so your lumbar spine, into the mat. Then inhale up, exhale. It's basically you're lifting up your coccyx and your sacrum, and you're pressing down your lumbar vertebrae. Lots of lovely deep breaths. And then on the next exhale, we're going to lift up your lumbar vertebrae, peel it up off the mat just to your rib cage, lower ribs. Take a breath in. We'll add an extra breath in here. So we'll take a breath in and then exhale down, placing those nice big
vertebrae back on to the mat and back to neutral. Breath in to prepare. Exhale, gently peeling off spine off the mat, just up to the rib cage again, and then exhaling down. We're taking a breath in when we're up and a breath in when we're down. So if I forget to say that, that's what we're doing. Breath in, exhale. So we're moving on the exhale now. And this time we're peeling up some of the thoracic vertebrae too, because we're coming up to our shoulder blades. Inhale and then gently exhale down, one vertebrae at a time. Such a Pilates expression that no one knows what it means or how to do it. Breath in, exhale, gently peeling off the mat. If you're noticing your knees are wobbling out to the sides, you can always put a block or something in there, or a cushion or something to hold your knees still, because you can squeeze them. Coming up to your rib cage again. Sorry, not rib cage, your shoulder blades. Breath in and then exhale down. Deep breath. Exhale up. All the way up to your shoulders. So now you're in the full bridge. Breath in and then exhale down, keeping your knees straight and in line with your hips. One vertebrae at a time. Back to neutral. Inhale and then exhale up, peeling your whole spine, except for your neck and cervical spine, off the mat, and then holding underneath if you can and you want to. It's clasping underneath. So you're in the bridge posture. Take a few deep breaths here in bridge. You can also, you don't have to clasp, you can just put your hands down by the side. Release the clasp if you're clasping, and then exhale the spine back down. Oh, that's lovely. Okay, and then bringing the knees in, have a little rock around. Now, I hope it's okay to go into plow. I haven't really done that, but I'm just feeling like I haven't really done that with you guys. And I don't often do it in classes, because often my classes are very gentle and I have a mixed level. And to be honest, other than Eve, I don't know who is here. So it could be anyone. So if this is not good for you, yeah, so I'm just lifting up so I can see you. Don't do it, but plow it's safe if you do it carefully. So we'll just do it really carefully, and it just stretches the back in the other direction. So it's a counter posture to the bridge. So we'll just bring the knees into the chest, hold your hands down by side. So this one's halasana, the plow. Lift up into a half shoulder stand. So your hands at the base of your base of your spine here. And then gently ease back. See how that feels. Ease back into the plow posture. So it might be that your feet touch the the floor behind. I think I did this actually. I have done this. Maybe I did it last week actually. Or something. I did this at some point. I remember now. And the hands are stretched out, facing down, so the palms are down. But if you want to, you can keep your hands at your spine. You can play around with pointing and flexing your feet. That's quite nice. Feeling the stretch go right to your lower back. That's what I remember coming down into Kanapindasana, which is the ear pressure pose. So if you're okay in ear pressure pose, I find I need to put my hands to my back if I'm bringing down my knees down to my ears. But only do this if it's comfortable. Okay, and we'll release. So lifting your legs back up and then gently, gently moving back down, placing your hands underneath your hips, facing down, the four fingers touching, thumbs touching, and then bringing your legs down if that's comfortable to do it like that. Be careful of your lower back. And then flipping up, so you're back on your so you're up on your forearms like this, and we just have a moment. Just be seriously careful of your neck if it's not good for your neck, and then coming back into a fish posture. So you're lying, your bum is basically on the backs of your hands. Matsyendrasana, this one. Or Matsyasana, sorry. Fish pose. Deep breaths. And then bringing yourself gently back onto the mat. Oh, I hope that's all right. That's quite strong on the lower back, strong on the back. So hopefully that's okay for you. Okay, so we're just going to bring your right leg into the armpit. Breathing it in and flexing the left foot. So the left leg is straight and you're flexing it. Nice deep breath. Exhaling the knee towards you. And then easing off and then bringing the left foot onto the mat, and you've got your left knee towards the ceiling. And then bringing up your right leg, and we're stretching out the hamstring. So you might want to bring your hands to, if you can, to your calf. Otherwise, thighs fine. Although if you have a strap, you can also use a strap or like a scarf or something. You can also do that if you want to. Just depends what's better. As long as your main thing is that your shoulders, the strap helps your shoulders relax. The main thing is that your shoulders are kind of on the mat or not causing too much, because I feel like it's okay for my shoulders to be up. It doesn't bother me, but some people that would hurt them. And also, if you're finding you're straining your neck, you want to lift your neck, you can place a blanket underneath. And you can point and flex your foot. It's nice. And if you have a little rotate of your feet, of your foot, and then the other way. Good. So exhaling your leg in towards you, and then bringing the right ankle over the left quad area, and then bringing your hands behind your thigh and coming into leg cradle, and flexing your right foot. And if you want a stronger leg cradle, you can put your hands over by the shin, out the shin of the left leg. That can sometimes be good as well, but sometimes it's a bit too intense. Doesn't feel good. It'll be different every day, basically. And then releasing down and stretching out your legs for a moment, feeling the difference in the legs, goodness. And then bringing in your left knee into your chest and flexing the right foot. So it's quite nice and strong and active. So your right leg is straight with a flexed foot. I always like to take these moments to circle my ankles around. So you're breathing in, exhaling in the knee towards you. And then bringing up the right knee, planting the right foot on the mat. And then bringing up this left foot here. And bring it either at your thigh or up at your calf or with a strap. And gently encouraging, breathing it in towards you, the leg. And then placing the ankle, the left ankle, over the quad of the right leg. Breathing in and then bringing your hands behind your thigh, your right thigh, or over the shin. Breathing in your legs. Nice glute stretch on your left side. Leg cradle. And then placing down the feet. Lifting, so your hips are in line with your feet. And then lifting up the hips, putting them over about 2 inches. Lift, either keeping your feet down and then your knees are going over to the side for a slightly softer twist. Or you're bringing your knees into the chest. That's quite nice too. And then over to the side. It's just a slightly bigger twist. And you can put your left hand on your right knee. So you're giving yourself your own little adjustment. And your right hand is out to the side and you're looking over at the right hand. So some deep, strong, full breaths. It's starting to kind of calm the nervous system now as well. So everything's just relaxing. So if you find your breaths going slower, that'll be why. Just really releasing the breath. And then bringing the knees up, lifting up your hips, placing them back down so they're straight. And then lifting up your hips again, and then over about 2 inches, whatever that is in centimeters, that's about 5 centimeters, isn't it? Over to the left. Anyway, I'd probably go way more than that. And then either just bringing the knees over to the right, which is lovely, having us twist here, or you can bring the knees into the chest and then over to the right and placing the right hand on the left knee, outside edge of the knee, and then looking out over your left arm, stretching the arm out and looking out. Relaxing into this lovely posture. So relaxing. Could fall asleep. And then gently moving your head back to center on exhale. Breath in and exhaling your knees back up, lifting up your hips and placing them back into place. And then we're going to come down into Shavasana. But first, actually, we can have a little go in Supta Baddha Konasana, which is where we put our feet together and then open up the knees. And see how that is for a little bit. You might want to support with cushions and you might want to even stay in it. Having a little moment with our hips. A few gentle, relaxing breaths here until you can either stay there, put a blanket over you or something, or you can bring your legs down into Shavasana, full relaxation, and your hands down by your sides. Your body is completely heavy. And don't forget, if you need to put some socks on, anything warm, a blanket, whatever's needed. The main thing is to be comfortable and just have a full relaxation. So letting your body completely rest. So there's nowhere to go and nothing to do. You can just feel yourself heavy and held on the mat. Feeling a deep relaxation, a stillness, the innate stillness that resides within you. It was there when you were born, and it'll be there when you die. That beautiful peace. Feeling that peacefulness resting at the crown of your head. Resting at your brow. That peacefulness resting in that little dip in your throat. Peace resting at your heart center. And peacefulness resting in your diaphragm above your navel. And resting around your sacrum, your womb, or your bladder.
Feeling that deep peace, resting right at the root, your coccyx, pelvic floor, perineum. The deep peace resting in the palms of your hands. And the soles of your feet. Enveloping your whole body. Your whole body is at peace and relaxed, fully relaxed. Be still and rest. And start to deepen your breath. Bring some movement into your body. Maybe begin to move you could start to move your fingers and your toes. Maybe rock your head from side to side. Bring your knees into the chest. And then find your way onto your side. You can bring yourself back up to seated. And gently bring the hands into the heart. Namaste. And maybe opening up the fingers into Lotus Mudra so that your thumbs are touching and your little fingers are touching, but the other 3 fingers are open. Base of the hands are touching. We can complete today with our Om vibration 3 times, finishing with Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Breathing in. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Bring the palms together and then up, wide, the hands wide into Namaste. I mean, so Prana Mudra above the head. Taking 3 deep, life-affirming breaths. And the hands above the head, down through the centers at the crown, third eye, throat, and heart. Namaste. And thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing this practice. That was lovely. I hope it wasn't too strong, but for me, it felt quite good to be strong, but yeah, hopefully that was right for you. I'm wondering who's left, because a couple of people went during Shavasana at the end, needed to get on with their day. So Eve, did you manage to stay till the end? Just wondering if your little puppy let you. Yeah, if you want to say hello, whoever's here, then you can. Just see if you stay to the end or not. But it's okay if not, that's fine. And I'll just turn off the live stream. Okay, so I'll end the live stream. Yeah, I hope you had a lovely practice and see you again soon.